Hello, welcome back to another FPL video. Hope everybody is doing very splendidly well. We are currently in the middle of Game Week 14 soon, just on the last run up to Christmas. I know that a lot of people are going to be thinking about their wildcards come Game Week 16 and just generally planning ahead for the double Game Week 19 and the blank Game Week 18. So today we're going to discuss all of those things. If you're new around here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you do enjoy this kind of FPL discussion video. And without further ado, let's go straight into this one. So first of all, quickly the premise behind this video. We're looking to really attack the double Game Week 19 with your wildcard. Now also in this video, I'm going to be discussing a wildcard that involves a free hit come game week or come the blank Game Week 18. I will also be doing an updated video that looks at kind of contingency so you can get through blank Game Week 18 without having to free hit, and I will also be doing a bench boost video looking at really targeting those double Game Week 19 fixtures. Now also with this video I'm looking at a team value of around 101 million. I feel like it's a fair kind of price that most people will have. I feel like a lot of people will have more than that, so I will be discussing options where you can kind of upgrade or downgrade a player depending on how much money you do have, but I feel like 101 valuation is almost on the lower side rather than the upper side. And the structure of this video, firstly, obviously the funnest part of the video will be just looking at players where we can really go for that double Game Week 19. You're going to hear a lot about this double Game Week 19 because that is what everyone is kind of looking for and targeting come their Game Week 16 wildcard. Second, we're also going to be looking kind of before Game Week 19. We don't want to kind of forget about the Game Week 16, Game Week 17 fixtures because you know you will have the wildcard before 16, and we don't want to miss out on opportunities in those game weeks as well where you could potentially really fall down below the ranks if you just completely go all guns blazing for double Game Week 19. And then we're also going to look afterwards. What's the aftermath of Game Week 19? You know, we don't want to just completely target Game Week 19 and have a horrible team after that. So we're going to look about how you can kind of build a team so that you have good players for the Game Week 20 and onwards. Okay, so I've just got the FPL website here because this video I'm just going to be tinkering around potential options for the wildcard. You know, I don't want to give a complete kind of perfect team for double Game Week 19 because I don't think there is one. But yeah, first things first. Actually, one thing I will mention is I will come in and have a little discussion about the goalkeepers towards the end of the video, as I have kind of differing views on the best strategy to do with goalkeepers. But first things first, West Ham are the team that everyone is trying to target for the double Game Week fixtures. And that being said, there is one man who I think has to be in your team, and that is Soufal. He looks unbelievable, and if we take a look here at West Ham's fixtures, we have West Brom and Burnley at home. I mean, they should realistically keep a clean sheet in at least one out of those two games, so you'd be expecting at least 8 points from Soufal. He's also picked up plenty of attacking returns, as we can see here this season. He's actually only picked up 2 assists, but he looks very good going forward and has picked up quite a few bonus points as well. So Soufal, I think, is kind of a must-have for this game week. And then also looking at West Ham, we're going into the midfield. Now, here's, as I said, an option depending on your price bracket. I think Souček, unbelievable value. Souček allows you to do so much with the rest of your team. However, if you want more attacking returns, I think Jawad Bowen does look like the better option. I'm going to put Souček in here because I think he is the more highly owned player, and I think a lot of people will be looking at bringing him in to, as I said, have that kind of budget option who's got a very good double Game Week 19, which allows you to do a lot more elsewhere. Now, I do like the idea of a triple up on West Ham, and I think the third defender, if he is fit, will be Balbuena. Obviously, we can look forward, maybe Haller. If Antonio is fit, he is an unbelievable option, and I'd find it very hard not to transfer out Calvert-Lewin for Antonio. But what we know now is that Antonio is not fit. With that assumption, I think Balbuena is due to kind of be fit around those game weeks. If not, you can look towards Ogbonna or Diop if he's still playing as well then, or even Creswell if you have a little bit more money. But as Balbuena is a bit more of a kind of budget option and will most likely be playing, I put him in there as the third defender. And that is obviously if you want to triple up on West Ham. I will discuss options later that don't necessarily require you to do or to go full out and triple up on West Ham. Now another player in the midfield who I want to bring in, and I feel he's got to be in there. Mohamed Salah. The guy is on fire this season. He has the most FPL points of any player, and I mean, what more can I say is that what more can I say than he just looks like an unbelievable option. Not only has he got 2 half decent fixtures, as you can see here, he's got Manchester United at home and he's got Burnley at home. I emphasise at home because Anfield is where Mohamed Salah absolutely smashes it. You could potentially even triple captain Mo Salah for this week, and he looks like an unbelievable option. Another man in red in the midfield who's been popping off this season, Bruno Fernandes. Now, I do tend to type in Bruno a lot into the bar. This time I've got it right. I've gone with Fernandes. He's got 2 away fixtures, but as we know, Bruno Fernandes does play well away from home. Liverpool away, and there's no reason why he can't actually do anything in this game. Liverpool defensively haven't actually looked too great this season. I'm not actually sure when Virgil is kind of due back, but I don't think he's due back until a little bit later at double game week 19. So Bruno Fernandes and Manchester United will really be looking to exploit that kind of weaker Liverpool defence, and Fulham away is a nice fixture as well. Now, a man up front who I think you just got to have him, and I still think is unbelievable value. I came into the start of this season calling him a fraud because I'm a Palace fan, and when he was at Palace, he was absolutely awful. But fair play to the guy, he's proved me wrong, and the amount of chances that Leeds create going forward is unbelievable. In the Manchester United game we just had, Man U had 25 shots, Leeds had 17 shots, so he's going to be given so many chances. And the double game week they have is actually not too bad as well. They have Brighton at home and Southampton at home, who aren't kind of the best defensive side. Southampton have done okay this season, but a lot of their defenders are doing well because they're also scoring rather than keeping loads of clean sheets. So I think Patrick Bamford looks like a great option. And also another man from Leeds, Dallas. Now, I have just said that obviously Leeds do they concede a lot of chances, concede a lot of goals, but the attacking returns that Dallas is getting is 3 goals and an assist, or maybe 3 goals and 2 assists, are very good. And they don't, as I said, have the worst of fixtures in terms of a defensive standpoint. So we could easily see Dallas picking up, a clean sheet and potentially an attacking return as well, which would be unbelievable. But, if you're looking for other Leeds defensive options, I just don't think anyone comes close to Dallas. Alioski maybe because he does get forward. Ayling I wouldn't really go near because if the clean sheet goes, then we really can't expect very much from Ayling going forward. So Dallas is definitely a standout option there for me. Didn't put Patrick Bamford in. Come on, fella, get into the side. There we go, Bamford is now in there as well. Now the second striker spot is one that's very hard to fill. I'm actually quickly going to fill the third striker spot with Brewster. Now, I think Brewster, going through the season, I'm really waiting for Brewster to get more consistent game time. He did start in the game just gone in game week 14, but only managed to get 53 minutes. Once Wilder gives him a bit more time, I think we'll start to see him pulling off some attack and returns. Then his price will go flying. But with the plan I kind of have for this wildcard team or wildcard draft, the third striker spot is a dud, so I think Brewster is the best dud striker spot, as he gets at least 1 point every week and could potentially come off the bench or start and grab an assist, grab a goal. The third striker spot, as I was saying the second, but now the third striker spot is the hard one to fill. You could really attack and go for someone like Martial, as he has very good fixtures after the double game week and is also starting to pick up a little bit of form as well. You could go for someone like Che Adams, a little bit cheaper, but as I said, they're playing against Leeds. And let's take a little look actually at who the other fixture is. I know they have it might be Leicester. I've got a feeling it's Leicester. I've got a feeling it's Leeds and Leicester. Leicester away and Leeds away. So not the kind of worst attacking fixtures. Leicester haven't been too great defensively this season, although they did just pick up a clean sheet against Spurs. And obviously we know that Leeds aren't too defensively great either. So I think Adams looks like a very good player to come to put in there. Now the player I'm going to put in there is actually Calvert-Lewin. Personally, I have a lot of money in Calvert-Lewin. I feel like a lot of people will as well. So I feel like for me and for other people, it's going to be very very to take out Calvert-Lewin, considering the value you have in him, and also you look at his fixtures and they're not exactly too bad. Game week 19 they've got Villa away, ain't too bad of a fixture. Leicester at home, not too bad. Newcastle, Leeds. It's not bad, and once he starts picking his form back again and starts scoring goals, you could really miss not having him. But if you're just going for, say, like a 1 game week punt, maybe look towards Haller, Che Adams, Martial, these kind of players if you have got the budget. Now here we've picked 7 players so far who are kind of the mainstay for the double game week. These are the guys you're really looking at kind of building your team around for the double game week. Actually, I've got one more player in there who I forgot about, and how could I forget about this man? He's got an unbelievable double game week, and that is Sadio Mane. I think Mane looks like an unbelievable option for the double game week, and as I will discuss later on, will come into play quite nicely. Sadio Mane, just, you know, double game week against Manchester United and Burnham. We've seen at the weekend how ruthless Liverpool can be when those front three combine. Mane for me just looks like a very, very good option to get into the team. Now, we now have 8 options there, and, you know, 8 out of a potential 11 players, not even including the goalkeeper yet, who we will come on to. There's a lot of people to have, there's a lot of players to have double game week fixtures. So I'd be like, if I could go into the double game week with that kind of base of a squad, I'd be very, very happy. Now we're going to take a look at some kind of contingencies, and not really forgetting about game week 16 and 17. So on to part 2, and don't ignore game week 16 and 17. Now a few of these players here, you know, Mo Salah, Fernandes, Mane, 16-17, absolutely fine. If we have a look at Liverpool's fixtures, 16-17, Newcastle away, Southampton away, I think you'd be very, very happy with owning either of them. And, you know, they can do anything at any of those games. And same with Bruno Fernandes, Wolves at home, Aston Villa at home, doesn't look too bad for them. Now, Soufal and Balbuena, I think game week 16 there's potential. I mean, Southampton away, Everton away, not the worst fixtures either, so they don't look too bad. But there's a couple of players specifically who I'd like to bring in, and the first one would be Eric Dyer. 16-17, he looks great. He even has a good game week 19 fixture, Sheffield United away if you need to play him as well. I think Spurs have pretty decent fixtures, and then we can look at Sonny Boy as well in the midfield. I think Son, unbelievable option for this year. I mean, just second highest scoring FPL asset, only just overtaken by Salah. He's also a potential captaincy option for game week 17 against Leeds. Ideally here, what you would do is you'd bench Dallas and then probably play Son and Dyer, or even you could potentially even bench Dyer if you want to play Bamford, play the likes of Calvert-Lewin and the rest of that midfield. You'd probably bench Souček as well. Souček is he's a very, very good bench fodder player. There'll be some games where you miss out on his goal. It's just the way it's going to be. But he's a really, really good option to have there, just waiting to come off the bench. I'd probably always put him first on the bench, as he is quite likely to do things. Sort of one in every maybe 3 or 4 games, he might nab a goal or an assist. And if you've got him first on the bench, you're setting yourself up to be lucky. Now, game week 16 and 17, a team that hasn't kind of provided too many points so far this season, but Charlie Taylor, Burnley are starting to look very, very good defensively. And Charlie Taylor, game week 16 and 17, looks unbelievable. Sheffield United at home, Fulham at home. I'm really trying to find a way that I can get Charlie Taylor in. But, you know, if I can't, oh well. But I definitely look at that. And all of a sudden, for game week 16, 17, you've brought in a couple of players there, Dyer, Son and Taylor, who absolutely sort you out. You can play those 3 along with, you know, one of Soufal or Balbuena. And then you could either play the 5 across the midfield. I mean, game week 16, Dallas has got a nice fixture. So you can play Dallas for game week 16, bench him for game week 17. And then you probably just have to decide, you know, whether you want to play either Souček or the double up on the West Ham defence. So the kind of line I've taken here doesn't really involve many premium defenders. Now, I think with this team value that I've got right here, I've got 8.4 million left in the bank. The majority of you will probably have 10 to 11 mil. Now, there's a few options, a few lines that you could take. You could upgrade Dyer to someone like Kurt Zouma, Ben Chilwell, if you've got the money, or if not, maybe Reece James, because Chelsea don't have a bad double game week, and they've got good double game week fixtures going forward after that. I do really like Soufal and Dallas. Charlie Taylor is a player you don't necessarily need for the double game week. So if you can upgrade Charlie Taylor, you could potentially just go for game week 16, 17, get Charlie Taylor in there and upgrade Charlie Taylor to someone like Reece James or Kurt Zouma. As I've just said, as you can see on the screen, I have changed Balbuena down to Amity. This could give you quite a bit of kind of spare change, as it were. Downgrade is 0.6 million, which almost gets you the Charlie Taylor to Reece James move. And also Amity is a playing player. You know, he came off the bench after being injured for quite a while at the Leicester of the weekend. He got the 1 point, but he's a player who we might potentially see starting in the future, and at 3.9 million is the only player around that kind of price bracket that really is getting or starting to get any kind of point. So I think Amity looks pretty decent there as well. And as I said, that kind of allows you to maybe upgrade the likes of Charlie Taylor come game week 19, because if you do free hit game week 18, which is kind of the premise of this video, then you will have one free transfer going into game week 19. So as I said, we're planning for the kind of game week 16 and 17 in this part of the video, and Charlie Taylor looks great for that. But then you can look for the upgrade of Charlie Taylor, go to someone like Reece James or Kurt Zouma or Ben Chilwell if you've got the money. So now we've had a little bit of a discussion about what you can do in kind of game week 16, 17. One thing I will say is game week 17, quickly, before I move on to this aftermath part, game week 17, definitely look at captaining my boy Son. Leeds at home, it looks like an unbelievable fixture. So the aftermath of double game week 19, you know, what do you do after the double game week? We go into a team, we've built a nice little team to go into the double game week with. What do you do afterwards? Well, afterwards, the likes of Salah, Fernandes, Son, Calvert-Lewin, Bamford, I'd say even Soufal and potentially even Dallas, Mick Dyer as well. The majority of those players there, not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. Now, there's a few players that I definitely look at kind of potentially moving on. And firstly, the main thing I consider is after double game week 19, Manchester City's fixtures look unbelievable, those 3 game weeks, and that is one reason why Mane is in here as well. So that being said, we could look at taking out Mane. Let me just scroll down here, and you could bring in the likes of De Bruyne or Sterling. I still like De Bruyne because I think he is more likely to play than Sterling in sort of each one of those fixtures. We see here that the game week 20, 21, 22, they have unbelievable fixtures and they are quite congested as well. From the Tuesday the 26th to Saturday the 30th to the Tuesday the 2nd, we'll likely see De Bruyne playing all 3 because Pep has been punished for not playing those players for not playing De Bruyne previously when he should have, when he thought it was an easier fixture. So I think De Bruyne will definitely play each of those. And Mane is 0.1 more expensive than De Bruyne. So you can bring in De Bruyne, and all of a sudden that midfield looks pretty decent for those game weeks going forward. Now, as I said, we're looking at the defenders here, and you know, let's have a look. Game week 20, Spurs, Liverpool at home. Ain't the best, I'm not gonna lie, ain't the best, but I feel like Spurs look like a team defensively who can pull a clean sheet out of nowhere. Son, you would obviously play against Liverpool. He scored against them last time. No reason he wouldn't be able to do that again. Then we look as well, game week 20, let's have a look through these plays. Southampton at home, absolutely fine fixture to play. Dallas could easily get attacking returns. Game week 20, Crystal Palace away. We saw Soufal got an assist against Crystal Palace. Absolutely fine fixture to play him. And Charlie Taylor, Aston Villa at home. Now, you know, Burnley, they love a clean sheet. They absolutely love a clean sheet. And at Turf Moor as well, you know, they look pretty decent for clean sheets. And I think come game week 23, 24, 25, they look pretty decent. Now, a team I do want to mention is Manchester United. Game week 20 onwards, have a look at those fixtures here. So one thing you can do is game week 19 to 20. If you don't fancy Dyer for the rest of the season, or even for that game week, let me just scroll up here and we'll get to the Manchester United boys. And funnily enough, are playing, or the most, sort of the highest scoring Manchester United defender, Victor Lindelof, playing game week 20 at home against Sheffield United. Looks like a very nice option. So that's a couple of options, a couple of things that you can do. After that, obviously, you can then sort of build around a little bit more, change things up. As I said, Calvert-Lewin, you know, if you don't fancy him, definitely one to consider. Martial, as I said, aftermath of game week 19, Martial has very, 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 very good fixtures as you've just seen there with Lindelof. So definitely one to consider. Now, let's discuss the goalkeepers. For me, I think that the kind of set and forget goalkeeper is the way to go this season. So I have a lot of value in Martinez. I think a lot of other people do, and I think Martinez will be the highest scoring goalkeeper for the rest of the season. That being said, you know, game week 16, 17, pretty terrible. Game week 18, game week 18 free hit, so it doesn't matter. 19, not great. And then 20 onwards, it's okay, So what you could do if you wanted, you could bring in Fabianski, unbelievable double game week 19. That would also mean you don't have to double up on the defense in terms of an actual defender. You could do it on the goalkeeper spot. And if you also wanted to go for like another double game week goalkeeper, Meslier is probably the other one I would target as well. Other than that, I think the set and forget goalkeeper is the best way to go. So Martinez for me is the one, because realistically, you know, you don't want to have to spend a transfer unless you're really going to plan on kind of going Fabianski to Martinez, or just keeping Fabianski for the rest of the season. I think if you were going to go with Fabianski on Meslier, you just have to stick with it. You know, stick with your decision. If you do have someone like Darlow in net, then I think that's a more reasonable decision to change to Fabianski, because it's a more like-for-like swap and there's less value held up in Martinez. And let's kind of fill this out with Peacock, the man, Peacock Fowl, and there we have it. Yeah, more value in Martinez, as I said, so it's less worth kind of taking the transfer out, because you probably end up wanting him back in at some point. So there we have it. We have the wild card for game week 16. Obviously, Lindelof and De Bruyne aren't actually in there. Let's change these boys back to Dyer. Oh, we're on the Mane spot. Oh, wait, what are we on here? Oh, we're on the goalkeeper spot. So we've got Dyer. And we've got Mane. And obviously, as I said, plenty of other options you can look going forward. Plenty of other options also in defence. You've got Chelsea players, you've got United players up front, you've got Southampton players, and also other options in the midfield as well. I hope this video has been sort of reasonably informative. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. Hit that like button as well. Let me know what you guys are planning for the Game Week 16 wildcard, or just generally for the double Game Week 19 and blank Game Week 18. Yeah, if you have enjoyed, hit that like button, and I'll catch you in the next one.